longevity, understanding, and integrity. Me and you, we on the road, gradually, top to discovery. Got a lot to learn in this life, and I'm excited. Gonna do it with my people like mine. Yeah. What you gonna do when you need it? What you gonna do? A reboot.
What's going on, everybody on the podcast? How y'all doing today? Welcome to reBOOT. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear
Shelly,
you.
come
I
on.
can hear you,
Come on
girl.
through.
Who
What's going on with
do
you?
I have joining me today? This does not look like the Phoenix.
Oh, this is she. This is y'all don't know who I am.
This is a
I
case
want
of
y'all to
stolen
guess.
identity.
This is my costume. I want y'all to guess who I am today. Look at you though.
Can
Hold on, let me
anyone
look.
guess who Phoenix is? I think this is pretty obvious. I am Mr. Moneybags himself.
Mr. Moneybags, cuz
Take all.
the man who's a billionaire, almost a trillionaire.
Do you hear me? I am
And-
there,
and-
and then we have something real spooky going on over there with our spiritual thought leader. What's happening?
Could it be? Could it be? The devil. Ain't no
Oh
slimy devil.
Lord, help us, Lord.
Help us.
I'm loving all of the costumes today, honey. I'm loving all of them. Can I get a loan? Can I get $20 right now? $4.56.
Ooh, see, the way my bank account is set up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be able to do it today.
You can't do it today. You can't do it today.
If the audience does not know this costume by now, I have to see what's going on in this chat.
I want to put it in the chat. Who is Phoenix Lee Orr? Put who Phoenix Lee Orr is in the chat.
Who y'all think I is? I'm just over here, having a good time.
Phoenix
It's Friday.
Today.
Y'all know who I be?
I'm mad that your lips are white.
Let me sit.
It's
Hold on now. Hold on now. Don't come for me like that now.
Somebody said Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all for that.
Y'all ain't right.
Crack is whack, baby. Okay.
She's not Whitney. It's not Whitney.
Not Whitney Williams.
It's not.
Don't do me like that now. Let me fix it. Hold on, my wig. Hold on, let me just fix it. Get it right. Okay, no, there we go. Got it right. I got it right.
It's not Wendy.
How y'all doing? How's everybody doing today? Listen, I appreciate y'all. Listen. Hold on, sorry, I thought I saw something. I appreciate y'all saying I'm Whitney and who Wendy Williams, but I ain't quite so.
That's not. They still ain't got you. They still ain't got you yet. Phoenix.
Come on.
They still ain't.
Y'all need a clue? Do y'all need a clue?
Give them a clue, Lena. Give them a clue.
Give them a clue. Okay. My best friend name is Holiday.
Holiday.
Okay. That's my best friend name. And he helped me out, here and there. You know what I'm saying? Let me live with him for a little bit.
He did. When
I wasn't on that stuff. But it's hard to break it.
It's hard.
How's everybody doing today? Happy Halloween. It's not quite Halloween yet. I'm loving everybody's costume. I know I already said that. AG, yours is hilarious. Nothing but the devil. I love that.
Could it be
Listen,
the devil?
the devil. I see you done left 2020. You done left her and you done found you a new woman 2021. Did y'all see those match commercials? I can't hear you, Shelly. Have y'all seen the match commercial though?
Oh no, I said, and y'all are bigger than better than ever. I haven't seen the commercial.
Oh my God, they're so funny. So Match Commercial did a commercial where it was the devil and the devil in 2020 met, and they like met off a match, and they was like a perfect couple. It was hilarious, bro. It's so you gotta look it up. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
That sounds
So funny, so hilarious, just ingenious. And honey, yes, Miss Keisha.
Keisha
There
Key
we
got
go. We got one.
She got it.
it.
Keisha Key. She said, I think it's the mother of a holiday heart.
Wanda, baby, that's my name.
Listen, I feel like
Go ahead, Shelly.
I'm not gonna
Go ahead,
lie
Shelly.
though, I feel like the rest of y'all knew that and y'all just wanted to shade Whitney Houston and Wendy Williams.
Mm-hmm. Y'all wanted to shade them exactly. Whitney Houston ain't never wore no orange hair like this. Never.
Never.
And she don't do crack. Crack is whack, okay? She don't do crack, okay? She does cocaine. Well, she did cocaine. She does the very expensive version.
I'm sure she dipped and dabbled.
I don't know how to split it up. I think my lines is too thick. You
Definitely.
think she dipped and dabbled?
I'm certain she dipped and dabbled. Certain.
What's the white substance? This is crack. I went just for this costume. I went got me a little crack.
What's the white substance?
I've been saving up because I knew we was gonna do this episode.
Take us offline. We have promoted too many federal crimes.
Listen, cocaine. This is cocaine. This ain't crack. This is cocaine. And I went to a dealer down here at the gas station, and I said, "Yo, come here. I need a little crack." So I got a little crack. I always wanted to try it. So this is what this is.
Oh, they don't know.
There's a couple people who have never seen Holiday Heart.
They have not seen. It's a tearjerker. I'm gonna tell you that.
Don't go watch it. Don't go watch it. You're gonna be towed up. It's a hood classic. Would you consider Holiday Heart a hood classic?
You know what? So I've never seen it, and I was saying before the show started, the only reason why I know of Holiday Heart is traumatic, and I only know one character, and that is Wanda. An ex-boyfriend of mine was being not so nice and told me that he didn't want to date me anymore because I looked like Wanda off of Holiday Heart. So I immediately looked her up. Yeah, I immediately Googled her because I'm like, who is this? And my heart shattered. So I know the character and I know the movie because of that, but I've never actually seen it.
This motherfucker. Listen, don't have me cussing right at the beginning of this show, Shelly. You don't look nothing like
Girl, he told me he didn't want to be with me. I was like Wanda off of Holiday Heart, and I was embarrassing. I was just okay.
What's the lady's name, Aunt Jean? I can't think of her name.
Which one?
Wanda, the real person, the real actress.
I can't think of her name. Shoot.
Alfred Whitaker.
There we go, Alfred Woodard.
Okay, thank you. She's very pretty. Number one, but Shelly, dude, was he blind, Shelly? Was he blind and he was using Braille to see your face or something? What was it? I'm confused.
I have no idea. And at first, so he said it in front of a bunch of people too. So I was just like, okay, like I didn't really know what he meant. And then when I went home and Googled it, I was just like, is this what I
would have cussed him out. Did you send him an asshole, Shelly?
Yeah, I wanted to.
Well, definitely don't say. People just be saying shit.
Listen, they do.
Because you don't look nothing like it. You don't even look nothing like Alfred Whitaker in real life. But that is kind of traumatizing.
And I do think that she's pretty, but no, I never thought that I looked anything like her.
The folks is so The folks is just so that just really just irritated that just irritated my soul. Was he even cute?
People do a lot, but people will do a lot to try to make it seem like you're the problem.
Exactly.
And that's what he was
Exactly. Keisha said he was Stevie Wonders. You hear me? Just
doing.
guessing. He probably didn't even know what Wanda looked like. What the nobody want to be with you? I've been up here saving. I've been almost broke up with you 5 times, and you up here want to talk about. Hey, cuz, don't get me started. We're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to listen. We're gonna do something about that.
Listen.
Oh, devil,
Yes.
I've been seeing you all week.
Oh
You've
Lord.
been messing with me all week, and let me tell you something. You ain't gonna have my joy. No, I'm just playing.
I can't have it.
You
I
can't
can't
have
have it.
my joy.
Ain't nothing but the devil.
I can't hear you. I
Ain't
can't
nothing but the
hear
devil.
you.
Yeah, that's all right.
Joy.
Ain't nobody scared of you, cuz.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Listen. People run around talking about I made them do stuff that I didn't make them do.
It was the devil.
I'm tired of people blaming stuff on me.
Well, why you out here tempting folk?
The
Listen,
devil
you
didn't
tempted
make
because
you do that.
you away of your own lust. That's your own lust. Don't be blaming that on me.
The devil didn't make me do it, but he sure set it up. That's all I'm saying. I was just at the gas station trying to get a drink, trying to put some gas in my tank, and here come this little guy selling crack.
Oh Lord.
Now, if the devil wasn't at that gas station, the crack wouldn't have been there. But I had to get it. Let me take me a little hit.
This is too much. What's too much? I want to know what everybody else is dressed up as. If you have on a costume and you're watching, let us know what you're wearing.
Yes, it's so much fun to dress up. When's the last time did you dress up last Halloween?
Did I?
Yes, that did. That did go up my nose for real. Cause you know what, I'm 100% person. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it all the way. I could have sworn I just heard a baby crying in here. I don't know what's. I just heard a baby crying right. It's just the devil. Devil, get out of here, devil.
I told you stop blaming me. There was a devil in here, and you gave a perfect example of how folks real things happen, and they still blame it on me, and I didn't do it.
Yes, you did.
I cannot.
Wait, Mel said I'm wearing my birthday suit.
Listen, I was just about to say that. This is my costume. Keisha said this is my costume. I can't see what your emoji is.
I can't see it either. What's going on?
I just enlarged it. I see glasses.
DJ Trail, how you doing? What's going on? Come on into the room.
DJ T-Rel, remember?
That's Jesus.
That's the man.
That's First Lady's man. DJ T-Rel.
That's the bishop right there.
How is it going? We just in here working on our costumes. So we want to invite everybody in. The devil's here. Praise the Lord. We got $4.56 with all that money. You still didn't send me the $20. I just want to say that. My Cash App is. What'd you say?
The way my bank account is set up.
No, you just got a little gold card. I saw it. I saw the amount.
I don't have it.
You don't have it no more?
You
invested all of it
in my savings, and I can't really get into my checking. It's the limit for me.
Okay. I got how it is. And me, in case nobody knew, my name is Wanda. I'm from Holiday Heart. I just came and sat in here for Phoenix Lior for today. So what y'all don't know is today we are talking about Halloween.
We're talking about Halloween. We're in costume. We want to discuss everything surrounding Halloween. As we know, this year, Halloween's fallen on a Sunday. And that can cause some conflict with some of our religious, specifically Christian viewers. So we just want to get into, like, is it okay? I mean, it's mostly for the kids. It's mostly fun. Let them put on cute little costumes and get out there and trick or treat. But is it okay to do it on Sunday? How are we feeling about that? If you consider yourself a Christian and you're in this chat, I want to know, because I have seen this week and last week a lot of people asking on Facebook, should we be trick or treating on Saturday? Like, Sunday's the Sabbath, but it's like Sunday is the Sabbath, absolutely. But I have not seen, and I mean, your faith is your faith. How you walk on your journey is you. But I have not seen anyone leading like a straight and narrow. So it's like, are you really gonna keep your kids from trick or treating because it's the Sabbath day? And also, what even is the conflict with Halloween and Christianity?
I want to know what the conflict is too. First of all, let me address something before we get into it. Keisha, I didn't steal nobody's bike. Okay. First of all, I invested that bike. First of all, I bought the bike in the first place.
You bought the bike.
If I want to take it back, that's up to me.
I'm inclined to believe Keisha.
I took it back and I bought some crack. Is that a problem? It's gone, Keisha.
I'm very much inclined to believe Keisha.
Ain't nothing but the devil.
Okay, I'm gonna stop having too much fun. You know, this is very interesting. Trick or treating on Sunday. Now, I have seen a lot of Christians do the trunk or treat. And like in the past, I've been to churches where they do the after Sunday, they'll put all the cars in a circle and they'll open the trunk, and then the kids go from trunk to trunk to get candy out of it. So I've seen people do that instead of trick or treat. Now, I didn't grow up not celebrating Halloween. Like, I didn't grow up with this idea that Halloween was an evil holiday or wasn't Christian. I didn't really get that. I might have gotten it like subconsciously, to where they would do trunk or treat instead of trick or treat. And so I might have known, okay, it's a little different from the people in my school. They're doing trick or treat. But I did trick or treat. Like, my mama did take us trick or treating. And she was Christian. We was Christian. We was Christian. So I think it's interesting. Now, do you think, I want to know from the chat and from you guys' opinion, what do you think is the issue with Halloween? And why people don't want to why Christians feel like they can't or don't want to celebrate it?
So that's always been my question. And you know what? I Googled it, and this is what I've always heard. It says there's Christians today that look at Halloween as a pagan holiday during which the devil is worshipped and evil is glorified. So some choose to celebrate Reformation Day instead because they believe Halloween is something that must be rejected as a pagan holiday. I've never heard that Halloween was an evil holiday or a devilish holiday until I heard it from a Christian telling me that. There was never a point in my life where like someone who was pagan or someone who was a devil worshiper was like, Halloween is for us.
Do we know what pagan means?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Do you?
Okay, Michelle Brown, she says she's late, but yeah, so we talking about Halloween, we talking about Christianity and what's the holdup between Halloween and celebrating as a Christian. So I was interested, I did look this up and we were going to talk about this because I have a lot of Christian friends who feel like they cannot celebrate Halloween because it's the devil's holiday. Devil, you awfully quiet. No, I'm just kidding.
She is.
So I did look up the what is a pagan. And so from my understanding, and if anybody in the chat has a different understanding, please post it. But from my understanding, a pagan is basically like the indigenous people of the like European countries. So it's like Native Americans here, they're the indigenous people. It's like the Mayans, the Aztecs in Mexico, they're the indigenous people to that land. And so pagan is basically it's people who are not, it's people of the land, and then they're not necessarily Christian. So Christianity was introduced to them. So I thought that was interesting. Because I kept hearing pagan holiday. I'm like,
that is interesting because it seems like now that they just used it as a way to condemn people who just didn't think or worship like them. And that runs back to everything that we've been saying in the disconnect. And we got to heal that. We got to heal that. We cannot condemn a holiday because we believe it to be pagan and if pagan is just people of different beliefs of the people natural to that land, that's a little.
Well, I think and I'm trying to consider, because I don't think this an evil holiday, even knowing some more of the background. I'm trying to consider, what do Christians, why do they feel like it's evil? Not necessarily somebody coming to stab you and it's death, but I think they believe anything that's not Christianity. Or if you have like that verse, they say a double-minded man is what is it? Devil.
A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, because the devil knows the word.
Sure do know the word. Spent the whole time up in heaven until he got kicked out. Oh, okay. Lucifer. Okay, so dang, I lost my thought. I was trying to talk to Jean. Shelly, remind me, what was my thought?
You were basically saying the person of the devil mind. Are they technically wrong? Where did this come from?
Right. So they consider, because basically, so Halloween is a mixture of holidays, right? So you have the Celtic people. Wait, let me put, because I wrote notes on this, so let me go ahead and pull my little notes up, okay?
While you're bringing those up, I want to address the chat. Nancy is over here dropping some gems. First of all, she said a couple of years ago, Christmas was on a Sunday. Everybody went to church and came straight home to open gifts. I'm just saying. The only thing I will say about that, though, Nancy, Christmas has always been at least promoted. I mean, in recent years, we have different knowledge, but Christmas has always been promoted as a Christian holiday, the birth of Christ. Are you okay? Yeah. Okay, go watch Blue's Clues. You okay?
Yeah, she's so cute.
Okay.
Do you know who I am? Can she guess my Halloween?
Can you guess? Come here. You want to see?
Wait a minute. Y'all get ready to give Langston nightmares. She gonna have nightmares.
Who is this right here? Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Who is it? This looks like a zombie. She kind of looks like a zombie, huh?
Wait.
She's too busy looking at her own self. Go play.
She confused. Don't do the baby like that. She don't know who I is. Ain't nobody see the movie. Okay, so this is what I was saying. So it's a mixture of holidays, right? From the so you have the Celtic people who were they had a festival called the Samhain, and basically it was on November 1st. And then they basically they believed in this god, the Samhain god. And so it's like you have it's I think Christians think that if it's another thing that's worshiping other gods, then that's evil. Not necessarily like somebody trying to kill, like we have different ideas of evil, but it's like that's not Christian.
Interesting.
So they want to take it away. But I mean, when the Roman Empire came to the Celtic people or the indigenous people, they mixed the Catholic traditions with the pagan traditions. And so then they put, and I put a video in the chat, Angie, and we can actually put it on there if you see it in the Discord. But basically, they had the All Saints Day from the Catholic Church and the All Souls Day on November. They pushed it to November 1st. So now you have these two cultures mixed together with these two different holidays, or three at that point. And then it's like, it's interesting to me, because if we're so Christian, how can we come to a different land and merge the two religions or the two cultures and say that it's Christian? You know what I mean?
Yes, and I was going to mention and interject there while I'm getting ready to pull up your video. Christmas is also blended. More than likely, by records of what we can tell, Jesus was more likely born in the month of April. But again, it's another holiday where they blended Christianity, trying to make converts and proselytizing. They blended a bunch of holidays together and came up with that date. So just so that we understand that as well, Christ was not born on December 5th. And so that also is another blended holiday, just like Halloween. And I'm so glad you brought up the point of paganism, because that is one of the areas in my dissertation that I'm writing about. So I wanted to hear what you were going to say. And you're exactly right. pagan literally meant and addressed the people that were rural and lived in the outer areas. I noticed you said indigenous, not, and it could be indigenous, but it also was indicative of versus the urban and those that were in urban areas in the cities. You had the pagans who were out there who were considered to be uneducated, unculturized, that type of thing. So the original word of pagan, that's all it meant. So then when we see Christianity trying to proselytize and make converts, then you have the soldiers and the concept of people that are coming from the metropolis areas versus people that lived out in the country who we would say, like in today's time, oh, they country, or oh, they hit. That's all pagan was. And then we took that to a whole nother level in Christianity and made pagan synonymous with devil and demonic, and that is not what the term means.
Yeah, that's what's interesting to me. Crazy Berry Town said, but Halloween isn't worshiping anything but candy. It's another commercialized holiday, just like most others. Christians need to fall back.
Come on.
But that's true. A lot of things are commercialized, especially in the United States. But does it matter what its origins are? Does it matter what it really came from anymore? Are we just
This is
like,
the
okay, well,
question.
since it's become this big candy money thing, candy costume money thing, are we just like, all right, well, we'll just celebrate it for the candy and the costumes and the money, and we won't even talk about or, I mean, want to know, talk about or want to know where the holiday really came from, because I do genuinely want to know. My whole life being raised, and I hate that we get to this point with Christianity, because never do I ever want to just say like, oh, Christians are horrible, but for so long Christianity has been used as a tool to weaponize against things that are really just normal. So I guess that's what we're here to do, is to just say like, I am a Christian and I do believe in following Christ and his word and everything that I was born to know. However, the things that I'm trying to heal are the parts where Christianity has like shamed me into a corner about things that I really should not even be ashamed about. That relates to the topic of Halloween, because what if Halloween is similar to, when we get down to the true origins of it, what if it is similar to Dia de Muertos? Is that it?
Dia de los Muertos.
De los Muertos. What if it's similar to that, where it's just supposed to be a day to honor our dead, but this long game of telephone has turned it into, no, it's a day for the dead and the devil and evil. And that's not even what it's supposed to be.
I think that, and I would love to go into Dia de los Muertos, because I learned I was looking at some stuff, and we have a video about that too. But I learned a lot of stuff about, or I have a article, but I learned a lot of stuff about the celebration I didn't know, and I've seen Coco like 5 times. So you can't learn everything from Coco, but you definitely get a gist. But I think that once you get down to it and you start listening to like the origin of these holidays and why they actually do it and not just for the candy, and then you kind of see that, okay, a lot of this stuff is very similar.
Yes,
it is very similar. It's just from different different places and everything. So we can talk about Dia de Muertos, Dia de los Muertos. What do y'all know about the day? What's your conception of the day?
So I'm not gonna lie, I let Disney educate me. I pretty much only know what Coco taught me. I know that it is a day where I believe Hispanic people, it may be broader than just Hispanic people, but I know it's a day where Hispanic people honor their ancestors by eating their favorite foods, showing their pictures on their Elfrenia. Is that how you say that word? I'm butchering the language. But showing their pictures, eating their favorite foods, just talking about them, honoring them, feeling them in the rooms that they're in. Obviously Disney made it more like playful and theatrical by having what was his name? Miguel go to the other world, but that's what I've learned that it is that they're just there to honor the people that they have lost, remember what they taught them and what things that they still carry with them in life, and then like a celebration literally. And I'm just like, how is this like a hidden gem of Halloween? And I'd never learned this until I was 20 something.
So let's go into it because I think this is something that we should be talking about. And I'm just gonna hit y'all with a few things about the day that we probably don't know. Okay, so Dia de las Muertas is actually Day of the Dead. I believe that's the pronunciation, but they don't consider it to be like Halloween, and they don't consider it to be a part of Halloween. They they feel like it's very separate and it's different. So and that's interesting because their origin is kind of the same as how our Halloween became a holiday. So theirs is combined with the indigenous people of Mexico. So you had the Aztecs, you had the Mayans, you had the Toltecs, and so theirs was combined with the Roman Empire also. So their day of the saints, or the day of the November 1st, day of the souls of the saints. And that's basically just it's a holiday to celebrate, the good saints who had already passed on or whatever. And so that's their mix for Dia de los Muertos. But they were celebrating it before the Roman Empire came in. But once you get those two cultures, they assimilate. And so number one, Day of the Dead, like Shelly said, is meant to honor past ancestors and honor their memory and their life. Okay, so it's not like, oh, you know, ghosts are gonna come in and taunt us. It's more so about their ancestors, and they do believe that this time of the year, that November 1st, is usually when the seasons change over. They feel like that is when the world's kind of the world of the living and the unliving are kind of thin. So that's where you get the idea of the spirits being able to travel through and come and meet their families, and then they'll come back. But they believe that, and also the Celtic people, they believe that too. That time of the year when it goes over to the colder months, they believe that that's the time where the earth kind of, you have those, it's kind of thin between the two worlds. So I think that's interesting that that's kind of the same. But yeah. So let's talk about what do you call it, Shelly? It's the altar that they make.
The Elfrenia, and I'm
The
probably saying that
Elfrenia.
wrong, but that's how what I thought it
Listen.
was. And I need to know more information about that because in Coco, for the people who haven't seen Coco in the comments, Coco is a animated movie about Dia de los Muertos, and
Hmm.
it follows the story of a little boy who loves music, and his great grandma hates music, so she doesn't let anyone play it. And then he goes on a journey to find out why and why he loves it so much, but she hates it so much because they believe that everything is connected. Like all the hearts of your ancestors are connected through each other. And so the people living are still carrying on the spirit of the people who died. So he goes on a journey to find out why he loves music, and oh, it's a tearjerker. He finds out why,
Oh wait.
and yeah, it's a really very interesting movie. It's emotional, it's fun, it's funny, everything. The first time I watched it, I did not know that it was emotional, and I'm literally like crying on my couch with my kids, like, oh my god, why would Disney do this to me? But
Yep.
it takes you there. So if you haven't seen Coco, go watch it. But the reason why we bring out the Elfrenia is because that's how he learns of his ancestors.
Hmm.
He finds a photo of an ancestor on the Elfrenia that takes him on the journey of finding the music connection to his family.
Yeah. So the Elfrania. So on this day, families build an altar, and they usually do different tiers. Okay, and so on the altar, they'll put pictures of their past ancestors. They'll do candles. They'll do incense. They will do the little paper banners that we see and we associate with Mexican culture, and they do the cutouts and usually have them at like fiestas and stuff. Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so they'll have those. So I learned that they put the candle for each relative that has passed on, and the light of the candle is supposed to symbolize Jesus Christ reborn in faith. So it's supposed to symbolize them, I guess, taking Christ into their life and being a Christian. And so then the flowers that they use a specific flower, that orange flower that they had in Coco. And so the flower is supposed to represent fertility of life. So I guess like just the amount of life that they had and being thankful for that.
Is it fragility? Like
That's what
like
it
how
is.
fragile life is?
Listen, I'm a crackhead. I don't know how to pronounce everything. Okay, the crack is in my system, and I did take notes, but sometimes I get it wrong. Say it again, Shelly.
Fragility. So it sounds like the flower is supposed to represent how life can be lost at any time. It can be
Fragility of yes.
That border can be broken between the living and the dead at any time.
Yes. Okay, and so then they also put salt and water. They put a glass and put salt and water in it, and it's supposed to help when the spirits come. It's supposed to quench their thirst because they've had a long journey. Okay, and they also put food on the altar. So the food is very important. So they make all these foods. And they basically put it for the ancestors as they come. And I always thought they putting all that food out there. Them, the spirits is not of meat. They're not gonna eat the food. So why are we making this food? But they put it out there. It doesn't go to waste. So the family who comes together, they basically just eat the food. Mm-hmm. So this was interesting. This is what I wanted to say, okay, because I don't know, it just got me so excited because I just see the connections between all these different cultures, and they want to tell us that we all different, but we all the same. So I know this is probably like a lot of Christians probably like, what the heck? But if you research like hoodoo, and you get a little hoodoo voodoo, they call it different things. So that's basically it would have been the religion, or the spiritual aspect of African people. And so then when you came over, the enslaved Africans, they kind of lost that because they took the Christianity into their life. And so then you leave that because it's considered the devil, and then you go to the Christianity life. But this altar reminded me so much of how the hoodoo, they honor their ancestors, because they also make an altar. They have the candles, they have the incense, and they talk to their ancestors. If they make food in their house, they put food on the altar. If they drink in the house, they put drink on the altar. And it's like, that sounds so, that's just like, it's just parallel.
It's all similar. It's all similar. And I was just on Google reading while you were talking about that, and I learned that this holiday, All Saints Day, originally fell on May 13th. Mm-hmm. So the fact that it's been I don't even understand how it's been moved to October. Like, how does that calendar, how does that math? The reason why I say that is because I feel like maybe that was a mistake. I don't want to call it a mistake, because if it was something that was spiritual for them to move it,
you have to. When the cultures, okay, so you have the Roman Empire that comes in, or the people who colonize these areas. Mm-hmm. They're trying to bring people over into Christianity. So the way they do that is it's assimilation. They merge the cultures. And so the Pope, I guess Pope George III, he moved All Saints Day to November 1st. And so now you have the Christians, or the Catholics, celebrating the same day as the indigenous people. And so then you get the merge. So it's like political kind of, it's not really, it's kind of political. It's like, let's merge these cultures, and if we put these dates on the same dates, then they can kind of come together. And then, but what ends up happening is Christianity takes over, and you just leave most of the time you just leave all the other stuff. And I think that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. And that's what I was like just getting at. Like, so this holiday has been moved all the way across the calendar simply because it's been gentrified, essentially. That's how I feel. That is how.
Come on, make the connection, Shelly.
I feel like we've gentrified Halloween, and I feel like, and to add on to that, the fact that we go and get candy on a holiday that's so sacred, or we've turned it into something that's not sacred anymore.
Listen, Stacey said religious people will move things and reword things to make themselves feel more comfortable in things that make them uncomfortable.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's too
Everybody's
much.
trying to.
Y'all are getting too heavy because I expected to be in costume, tell a few jokey jokes, but this is so real.
Yeah. It's
This
it's
is
it's
so
interesting.
real.
I think people do that because it's hard to really look back at the past. Okay. So if you feel like you're a Christian and God is and praise Jesus, but then you kind of see what people did with Christianity in the back in like the past years,
Hmm.
it's kind of rough.
It's kind of
Because
hard.
they literally were taken over. And I mean they I mean I don't know how they felt, but this is what they probably felt they needed to do, but it's just unfortunate. And I think that's
Hmm.
why a lot of people, a lot of millennials, a lot of young people are like you see this people are not following Christianity anymore. They're going back to their roots. They're going back to, these different religions because
Hmm.
they don't have the trust in Christianity anymore.
So
So
the removal of like spirituality and sacred acts from Halloween probably isn't so much just the fault of Christians because of the way that colonization worked and has always worked. The species that is or species, the race that is colonizing has all typically been a Christian or Catholic religious race. So they come into these places where indigenous people are, whether it be Mexico, the northern part of North America, the United States, wherever they go. They bring their Christian beliefs. They think that like all of this stuff that these native people are doing that's connecting them to the other world, because that's not been taught, excuse me, in the Bible. How could we possibly adapt to this? No, they need to stop doing what they're doing and start doing what we're doing. But in reality, if we think about the Bible, Jesus himself was born miraculously and came to earth doing miraculous things. So it's like he is our connection to the other world. He is our connection to God. So how can we tell other people like, no, your ancestors don't connect you to God. Your ancestors don't connect you to your faith. That's evil. You know what I mean? I feel like that is what has happened. These Christian colonizers come in and they tell these people because they don't understand what they're doing, and maybe the people have like I don't want to say a lack of, but they have a language that is not as profound as the English language or whatever language that they're speaking, and they think, oh, they're dumb. So what they're doing religiously and spiritually must also be dumb. When we look at all this stuff now, it's like, no, this kind of makes sense. This all makes sense. Like you being able to connect with the people who brought you into the world, why wouldn't that be a thing? We feel like we can connect with Jesus through prayer and God through prayer, so why wouldn't we also be able to connect with our other bloodlines, the other parts of our bloodline?
I mean, I think the Bible does address that there are other gods, but it's just the idea that God and Jesus is the one high God, the ultimate God, and so and I ain't a Christian no more. So y'all, just take it with a grain of salt. No, I'm just kidding.
I
But
thought that that's interesting because in I will admit I have not fully read the Bible, but I thought that the Bible says that if people believe in other gods, they're that like that's not right.
right, well, I mean
Like
that's what
there
I'm
is
saying.
no
Like
other God.
I'm just saying, I think that the Bible, it hints or it tells you that, yeah, there's other gods, but this is the ultimate God and this is the highest God. And so you want to follow me. Um, and
Okay.
so I think that's, I'm guessing and I'm not sure, but amongst other things, but that's why Christians feel like, okay, we can't do anything that has to do with anything that's not of God, of Christ. Because if you
Yeah.
do, then it's like you're worshiping two different whatever. So I think it's interesting, but yeah. So they were talking about the dates of Halloween and stuff like that. Dia de los Muertos is 2 days. It starts on the 31st at 12, so I guess the 1st of November, and it ends on the 2nd. Now Halloween, I think it's just the 31st. So that seems like they got it together. But Dia de los Muertos is different from Halloween. I know we put that in there, and I did not know this. I don't know if y'all knew this, but a lot of people who celebrate and are like of Mexican descent, they feel like America or the world has um, appropriated their day. They feel like people are not taking in the actual holiday; they're just taking over it. So, like, cultural appropriation. They really feel like that. And actually, I was gonna do the skeleton face from Coco.
Coco.
But after I was reading up on this day and seeing that, oh, this is a thing, I feel like I shouldn't do it because I don't want to, make people feel a certain way or anything like that. So I thought that was interesting. I had never even realized that. Did you guys
This
know
is
that or heard of
also
that?
interesting. I'm reading up more on the two holidays. Um,
Mm.
so to my understanding, and I can add the link in the chat actually, but to my understanding from the article that I'm reading, Christian, I mean, I'm sorry, yeah, Christian. The pagan and Christian occasions hadn't always been back to back. So to my understanding, Hallows Eve, Halloween, October 31st, was originally a European Christian celebration.
Right.
And All Saints Day, November 1st, is the pagan holiday. But both of them originally held the same meaning. It was a day to um, honor the ancestors and the spirits, and specifically the saints is what I'm reading. Which I don't know much about. I always hear Catholic people speak of the saints, but I don't know much about them. And Jean, do you have more information on that?
I find this whole conversation very, very interesting. Can you guys hear me clearly? I don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
Uh, this is a lot of my work that I'm doing on my study. So I'm enjoying hearing you guys have this conversation, which is a conversation that needs to be had. It's a conversation that I wish more adults in Christianity would have. But even the idea that we've been taught and we've been trained in our thinking so much so that we're afraid to question, we're afraid to have this conversation that you guys are having. Because even as you said, Marlena, when you get down to, I'm sorry, Phoenix, Leor, when you get down to it,
Wanda. No, I'm just
Wanda, I'm high too. When you get down to it, all of these are very similar and almost identical. It's just a matter of how it's presented to us. Now, this is what I want y'all to understand. I'm going to say this, I'm going to jump in, I'm going to jump out, and I know this may be offensive to some Christians, but understand this. What you all are describing is colonization by the Europeans. What you're describing is exactly that, colonization by the Europeans. So the Europeans, once they came into Christianity, and that wasn't always, even if you go back to England, the reason why King James wrote the King James version of the Bible, that wasn't the first Bible in England. It was the King James version, and King James needed to solidify the people under one religion. Okay. So Christianity happened to win out, and then his version of the Bible is what they made. Basically, this has got to be for everybody. Now, mind you, he did the translation in 1611. 1619, they're bringing slaves over here, and we got the colonization of America. We got the Revolutionary War that kicks up. There's a whole lot of things. Now, mind you, all of this revolved and evolved from the fact that they were trying in England to bring everybody under one religious heading, Christianity. And the King James version of the Bible is now, this is the law and this is the edict everywhere. So therein comes the, you can't use anything else. And you still got people today, I'm telling you, people will get heartless mad if you say anything about anything other than the King James version of the Bible. And they really don't even know why they're so mad about using another version of the Bible when the King James translation is not, absolutely positively, is not even the first translation of the Christian Bible. It was King James trying to get everybody on one accord, everybody on one page. That's just straight up factual history.
Mm.
So now we're not teaching history while we teach the Bible. We're teaching the Bible, but understand that while you're teaching the Bible, the purpose for teaching the Bible is to control and to colonize. Are you with me?
Mm.
So when we actually have all of these other indigenous, native, or pagan religions, and again, pagan did not mean devil, it did not mean demonic. Pagan identified those people in rural areas, in rural places where they were not connected to major civilization. That was pagan. So let's get that right. So when we get to the point of understanding that what they wanted to do, let me come here even from the black perspective. Let me just deal with black people in slavery and the King James Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So King James is oppressive and it is European controlled and European dominating in concept. It just is. So people are gonna be mad at that. Somebody's gonna be ready to stone me. Somebody's gonna say she ain't saved, she's of the devil. It just is because that was the whole purpose and design when King James had that translation translated. So let's take just black people that came here from Africa. And how many times do you go to the black church and the black church worships and looks nothing like the European church in worship? Same Christian church, but you go to a black Christian church, go to a white European Christian church, you got two totally different churches. Why? Because a lot of what black people that had come from Africa, the islands, and other places, they still do the traditions or some level of the tradition of the worship that we had in our native lands. And what did the European Christians say? That's uncouth. That's out of order. That's not God. You all are doing too much. That's of the devil. When I get up and shout and dance and speak in tongues, it's of the devil to some people
Mm-hmm.
because it is too close and resembles too much of where I've come from. And you can't tell me anything other than when you go in church and you see folks start shouting and dancing, that is straight from the motherland. I don't care what nobody says, it's straight from the motherland. But we were taught, and that tradition of worship, that style of worship, they tried to shut that down too, but it just couldn't be shut down. But then if you go back to the European Christian concept, then it's out of order.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to bring that up. So then you got what you guys are talking about. We did the same thing with the Hispanics. We did the same thing. Fill in the blank. All these cultures. We did the same thing and basically told them. And I'm saying we, as in European Christianity, because we want to bring everybody under the subjection and control of this right here. So
Mm-hmm.
anybody and anything that operated outside the confines or the boundaries of that was considered demonic, pagan, of the devil. Even though in many instances, the very things that were being done were the same things in all of these cultures. It's just that every culture did it differently. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're
Yeah.
talking about is coming into a day and time now where I don't have to denounce who and where I've come from. And that's why I love you guys having this conversation. As you delve and go back and realize they changed dates, they changed names, they changed all of that to bring everybody under that one controlled heading of European. And I'm going to keep saying that European Christianity, because at the end of the day, there were so many other native, natural, indigenous, pagan religions that were out there that worship God. It just didn't fall under the realm of the way European Christianity wanted it to be done. So they changed that. They kept changing the names. They kept changing the dates because they're trying to make everybody come under this one heading.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think? What are you guys' opinion on why people are so afraid or scared or reluctant to kind of go into this or see, try to understand stuff?
because we've taught people that if you do, it's of the devil. And nobody wants to be
Yep.
of the devil. Nobody wants to challenge God. Nobody wants to delve into any place where, and if you do, if you add to it, if you take away, and I'm like this, you tell me anything that you say, take this hook, line, and sinker, blanket covering, and don't do any investigation into it at all. Because if you do, you're of the devil. That in and of itself ought to make you feel like I need to investigate.
I can't remember who it was, but somebody last week mentioned your backpack of sins, and it's like we already know the wrongs that we've committed, in this earthly life. So, like Aunt Jean said, it's scary to try to navigate through something that you've always been told is a sin or isn't right. So trying to navigate that while also maintaining your faith in your God and your religion, it's scary. It's scary, and it's not only is it scary, but it's like every step of the way you're probably not very confident in what you're doing because you always were told that it's not something you should even be doing. So then let's say you slip, because everybody slips on every journey. So let's say you're studying how to connect with your ancestors and spirits and spirituality, and then somehow you get into studying like demonic spirits, and so then it's like, oh, but you do need that knowledge, but you're probably thinking like, I shouldn't be here, this is a sin, and so it may knock you back off of your path.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I think it is a lot of mental, fighting to try to figure out what's right, what's wrong. But I think if people just go forth and just try to just look at the stuff, look at it, you'll see.
Shelly Thunder just said, the older saints always hated me because I never took what was said as final. I asked why for everything and still do. Absolutely. That's me 130%.
I seen a TikTok. Okay, so I want to say two things. I seen a TikTok, and it basically was like they did a question. Name something that you do that's actually origins from hoodoo or voodoo that you didn't realize that it was, or just like your original, what people believe back in the day or whatever. And some people still do practice it. And they were naming off all this stuff. I'm like, dang, I do all of this stuff. And I didn't even know I don't know the origin of it. And so one of them was, you don't put your purse on the ground, because if you do, you're going to be broke.
Yep.
And another was, this is what my grandmother used to always do. When we was in her house and if she sweep across your feet, you have to spit on the broom.
Spit on the broom.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's crazy. It's something that you really don't think about. It's like some of this stuff is still with us, but you just don't know. So I just think that's interesting. Also,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna switch. Go ahead.
I want you guys to hold on to your weave and hold on to your wig, because I came out of a denomination that I'll allow to remain nameless. But anybody that sees this picture, you're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. So I want to show you this, and it speaks to what you're saying exactly. And I'm gonna say this real quickly and get out of Dodge. So you see that picture right there, and let me blow it up. Let me blow it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the founder of our church, who is very revered. He's a very revered man. I've seen that picture almost all of my life. Okay, now this is what I didn't know, and this is not any new information. It was new to me. Do you see what he has in his hands? Can you tell what they are?
Is it a brain? Is it a piece of body?
No, those are roots.
One of them looks like an.
It's a root.
They're roots.
Oh wow. Okay. Root work. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
He was a root worker. So okay, Phoenix. He was a root worker. So, and this is a true story. And I have somebody who actually was connected. So now, I looked up root worker because listen, when I was sitting listening to this story, I was clutching pearls, right? I'm like, what? Because my denominational faith teaches specifically against root workers. Now, So they said as he developed this denomination and people were being healed, people were being delivered, people were being transformed, which is why it grew so much. People were going through all of these changes and transformations in their lives. They asked him, and you see him taking that picture, right? They
Mhm.
asked him to please, please, please stop taking pictures as a root worker because they couldn't reconcile the idea of the religion with the tradition. Now, mind you, this man would have had potentially come out of slavery. A family that probably older than him would have come directly from Africa. So then at the end of the day, to distance themselves from him being a root worker, they then, by the time he died and thereafter, made it totally it's demonic to work roots because they need to conform to the European way of worship. But this man started a whole denomination, was an absolute leader of that denomination until his death. But he was a root worker, and Michelle, that's exactly it. When I root workers, that is voodoo or hoodoo, whichever way you want to say it. So then
Mhm.
basically what you had was the denomination that he founded asked him to please stop practicing voodoo and hoodoo. But this is what the man, he was a root worker. So at the end, and
Mhm.
you know what? And when I saw that, I was like, and I'm talking about somebody that had the horse's mouth, not so much you heard word of mouth. I'm talking about people that were directly connected and they know and they had family members and they were there. I'm not talking about word of mouth and somebody gossip. I'm talking about this is actually the truth. And when I went back and looked at that picture, I said, all these days I thought he had a turkey leg, and I thought I thought the man was eating food. I'm not lying.
Listen, you saw what you wanted to see. No.
What I wanted to see because there was nothing in me that wanted to have any association or affiliation to the fact that he was a root worker, and I didn't know that until I was grown. So,
Mhm.
this is what I'm saying. There's so many trying to comply, if I can say comply, with the European standards that you would have even the very denomination that you came from denounce what you do and ask you to stop for the sake of not losing credibility for the organization at large. And that to me is the cha-ching dollar bills. But to please stop because I want you to distance yourself from the black element of root working that is in your ministry. So I mean, this is a perfect example. I'm done. I'm gonna get out. But I mean, this is exactly the kind of stuff that we're talking about. So when
Mhm.
you talk about those older, and this man would have been, 1800 something or other. So you're talking about all this time ago, but still connected potentially to some of his roots. And I'm not talking about being a root worker, but being a root worker because that's in his culture. That's a part of the roots that he came from. And you got to denounce that because the people are upset because folks are not going to understand you being a root worker.
Mhm. Yeah, it's interesting, man. And I think it's scary. And I also feel like there's a part of me that's like, I don't know, we shouldn't be talking about this. This is not right. But it's just like you have to not be afraid to ask them questions and to look into stuff. And I think that God will show you the truth. The truth will come
Yep.
through.
And
So
The
why
truth
are
will
we
always.
afraid, Phoenix? Why are we afraid,
why
Phoenix?
am I afraid? Is what you said. I don't want to go to hell.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
the fear. I don't want to go to hell. I want to go to heaven. They describe hell. Hell is like I don't want to see it. I got to keep my air conditioner on 69 right now. Okay, I ain't gonna be able to deal with hell. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that
That's the
that's.
thing. Like, if you really think about it, so I've been told my whole life, like, let's use the example of talking to spirits.
Mhm.
I've been told my whole life that talking. You're welcome. I've been told my whole life that talking to spirits is devilish. So let's say I'm like, you know what? I denounce that. Let me find out what it's on. I'm on my journey. I'm finding out like how to talk to spirits, different ways to communicate with the other world. And I'm learning. And then I finally get there and I find out that this is in fact, not that it is, I don't think that it is, but let's say hypothetically I find out that this is in fact of the devil, like I should not be practicing this. Like it would just take me aback to know that I resisted against this and my people had my back the whole time.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that's how I feel. Like learn, learn, and once you do, you will see the truth. It's just that simple. So whatever fear, and I think that's indoctrination also in me from that. But it, you know, it is what it is. You have to choose the path that you want to go. I did want to say one more thing. I wanted to ask you guys because I want to talk about something I learned about Dia de los Muertos. Do you guys associate butterflies with spirits? Like, have you ever heard anybody or seen a butterfly and be like, "Oh, that's my great
Yeah, if a
aunt,"
butterfly
or
lands on your shoulder, it's like somebody trying to connect with you or good luck or something.
what about you, Angie?
Yes, I've heard it for butterflies, and I've also heard it for birds, particularly robins and things like that, or cardinal. If you see a bird that
Mm-hmm.
that's actually somebody's spirit that's coming to share with you.
So why do y'all believe
Yep.
that? Why do y'all think? Do y'all know why y'all think that or anything? Because I also have heard this many a times, and also you can. I'm gonna give you a chance to answer before I go on.
Why do we believe that?
Yeah, or why do you? Yeah.
I think that for me, I, I am personally, and even though I'm Christian, I am personally migrating back to my indigenous roots
Mm,
spiritually, which
mhm,
would go back to tribal understanding of African worship. So I think a lot of things in those elements actually deal with the idea of spirits and the existence of energies and so on and so forth outside of Christianity, which kind of has a very prescribed way that they look at it. Because the
mhm,
spirit doesn't die, the spirit never dies. So I'm like, I don't necessarily buy into the concept that I cannot have any connection to or with the spirit of someone that's deceased, or else I'm practicing necromancy. I'm not going out looking for spirits trying to talk to them, but I do feel like there have been breakthrough times in my personal life where something has happened when I feel like someone that I love deeply, I feel like their spirit came back in some way, shape, or form and
mhm,
communicated with me for some particular purpose. And I don't think it's witchcraft, personally.
mhm, mhm. What about you,
Yeah.
Shelly? Have you ever thought about this, or you just kind of, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I have. I've heard. First of all, I've heard the butterfly and bird thing. I've specifically, someone mentioned, Shelly Thunder actually mentioned in the comments that she heard it in relation to ravens and death. I have heard it in relation to cardinals and like someone coming to visit. Like if you see a cardinal, it's someone that has passed away coming to visit you.
Hmm.
I believed it because that's what I was taught. But that brings me to
Mhm,
another thing. Like all of these things I was taught: the spitting on the broom, the not putting my purse on the floor, the cardinal coming to visit me, the same people who were teaching me that spirituality essentially is devilish were the same people teaching me all these other things. So it's like, but you know what? They called it superstition. So I don't know if
mhm.
I'm gonna Google it while you finish, but I don't know if superstition and spirituality tie together. But I know my dad would always say, "Oh, that's just superstition. If you believe in
Superstition,
God,
yeah,
if
yeah,
you believe in God, you don't need superstition." But it's like,
yeah.
but y'all are teaching us this. I would know if you didn't
Ah,
teach it to me.
listen, this butterfly thing, I have heard I've been in a lot of instances where people are like, oh, butterfly, oh, that's a spirit, or I felt like that was an honor, a past a relative. And then there's this comedian named Joe Coy. Have y'all ever watched his stand up?
I haven't.
Okay, he's Filipino or Vietnamese, or
He's
he's Asian.
Filipino.
He's Filipino,
Yep.
and he has this joke where he always talks about his mama, and he's like his mama, Filipino woman now. She's like, oh, there was a butterfly that came in the backyard, and he said his mama started crying, and she was like, yep, that's your auntie. So the Filipino mama was like, the butterfly is the auntie, and so it was so interesting because we associate butterflies with spirits here too. Okay, I'm researching Dia de los Muertos. Listen, the Day of the Dead celebration that they do begins. It begins. they have this monarch butterfly, right? So the ending of this of the Day of the Dead. Hold on, wait, I'm getting confused. Hold on. Right. Okay. So the beginning of the celebration, Day of the Dead, they have a migration of butterflies. It's the monarch butterfly migration. Okay, and so it's this whole group of butterflies migrate back to Mexico, and they migrate to the sanctuaries of butterflies. So they have this place, where the butterflies live. And so the Mexican people believe that it's the souls of their past relatives coming back to Mexico and laying there and being with the family around this time. And so I just thought that was so
Yes.
crazy. And it just makes me so excited because it's just like you got the Mexican people believing that this line of ideas. You got a Filipino person who's on the way on the other side of the country who believes this. Black people believe this. And it's just like, okay, all of these people are having the same experience, but we believe that everybody believes we're so different. You know what I mean? Everybody believes, oh, my way of knowing is the right way, or this is the right way, follow me. But it's just like when you get down to the roots of the stuff, it's all the same. And I don't know, that just really, so for this Day of the Dead, this is a really big deal. They have a lot of butterflies that symbolize, they put a lot of butterflies on their decorations and stuff because they believe that this is the souls of their lost ones or their loved ones. And that's what it is. And I just thought that was crazy. Not crazy, but just connective.
It's all connected.
It's all connective. I
Yeah.
thought that was great.
It's
So,
all connected, and that ties in too because I just said all of that reminded me of my family always called superstition. So I googled
mhm.
superstition, and it says that it's just a belief or practice considered by non-practitioners to be irrational or supernatural. It's often attributed to practices surrounding luck, amulets, astrology, fortune telling, spirits, and certain paranormal entities, particularly the belief that future events can be foretold by specific butterflies, apparently unrelated prior events. So I was always thinking when my dad would tell me, "Oh, superstition. If you believe in God, there's no need to be superstitious." I always thought superstition itself was its own religion,
Oh
and it's
wow.
not. It's not. It's just certain practices that I'm sure when it says non-practitioners, it means Christians have written off as non unbelievable.
hmm
So because it's unbelievable to them, it can't happen.
I
But
love it.
I
But
come
my thing
from
is, why isn't Moses splitting the Red Sea superstition?
Come
Why
on.
isn't Jesus being born without intercourse superstition? That's
Mhm.
I, I'm just asking questions. It
I
all
come
sounds
from
very magical to me.
having come from a Pentecostal background where we believe in miracle signs and wonders. To some Christians, if I talked about the things that I believe God is able to do supernaturally in
Mommy.
right now in this present world, people think that what I'm saying is unbelievable too. So
Yeah. Yeah, because what's the difference? And people probably gonna be like, oh, this we ain't listen to the reboot no more, honey. They we can't deal with it. But what's the difference between somebody predicting the future and somebody having a prophecy? You know? So I just say people
I
don't be so close. Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was just feel like they're very much the same. They're very much the same. But you're right. I don't want to, and like I was saying earlier, I don't want to denounce Christianity. Obviously Christianity, I
Mom.
consider myself a
One
Christian.
more cracker.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Oh,
was saying
go
I
ahead.
consider
No, you're
myself
okay.
a Christian. I feel like I can still follow my religion while also questioning it and wanting it to be better. Um, so we are not here. We're just here to merge the ideas.
Mom, have some more
Hang
crackers.
on, baby. We're
And
just
and
here to
and
merge the ideas of what was and what now is.
yes. And like Aunt Jean said, Christianity is goes back way further than King James Version. So
Yes.
we had to realize that Christianity is also the one that we follow is also merged with colonization and political gain and world order or war. So we have to realize that the two are together, but you might have to separate the two because people have done a lot of crazy stuff with Christianity, and you just have to you got to get out there, you got to get in there, and you got to study, and you got to know
You
what's
do.
going on for real, for real.
You
True.
do,
That's what
absolutely. Okay, let's we can get on to a lighter note. I want to,
Okay.
while we still have time, I want to kind of let everyone know about this costume contest that we're wanting to have. So today's Friday. You saw us in our costumes. I don't know where. Don't get it wrong. I still got my money bags, but I don't know where my name tag went.
Tall
But
Pumps.
you know who I am.
Tall Pumps, do
So
you know who I am? Because Tall Pumps said, I'm feeling that red hair. Now, Tall Pumps, you know this wig look crazy, girl. Don't listen, she was trying to be nice. Please know that I am Wanda off of the Holiday Hearts, and I don't think this is
but
cute.
no, I feel like if you brush Wanda out, she would be a cute wig.
Yeah, I actually made this wig.
But yes, really quickly, we're having a costume contest. Today's Friday, Halloween is
Yes.
Sunday, as we've said a million times today. So we want everyone to submit their costumes to us. You can submit them on the Facebook page. You can message us on Facebook, submit them via. Is there Messenger on Twitch? Can you message on Twitch?
Whisper.
Okay, you can whisper.
Yeah, so you can stay anonymous.
You can whisper on Twitch.
Yes,
I'm
honey.
sorry. You can whisper on Twitch. Send us your costumes. There will be a prize that will be announced on the next show. So we want to see who's the best costume. Do we want to vote?
Yes.
What do you
So
guys
yeah,
think in the
so
chat? Does everybody want to vote, or do you just want us to pick and we'll let you know who we think
because we
will
want to
win?
see everybody's costume, okay?
I
I
want
know
to see
y'all about to
everybody's
go out here
costume.
and cut up. And it wasn't Mel. Mel said she was in a birthday suit. Girl, go on and send that one to us too. That's gonna get
No,
it
wait a
to.
minute. No, wait a minute, Mel. Wait, wait,
Wait, what's wrong?
wait. No,
What's the
Mel.
problem?
Don't
They
send
can't
us that
send
one. Lena is trying to
Mel.
get us kicked off of Twitch.
Send it. We're gonna blur out the good parts and let them see the regular parts. And we're gonna
This
choose
you got the
who
wrong
got the
platform. This
best
is not the
suit.
OnlyFans.
Right, right. Reboot about to start an OnlyFans, so all the
This is not the OnlyFans. But okay, I wanted to throw that out there. Do we want to? I want to get to the poll. I have a really fun poll today. Do we want to give final thoughts on Halloween and Christianity and where we see where the merge could be? I know after all this conversation, I know where I see the merge could be. Do you want me to? I can lead
my
off.
final no, I can.
Okay, yeah.
Me personally, like I said, I didn't grow up with an idea that Halloween was evil. I think that some people are going to do things that are not good or helpful towards other people. But knowing the history and how it was just a merge of all these different cultures and different groups, I feel like you could definitely take Halloween and put your own stamp on it. So for the Christians who don't really feel Halloween, I say do what you feel is best. But me personally, I don't think that it's a evil holiday, and I would just say, be be inquisitive and read and really do the research, because a lot of things that we're taught sometimes are not necessarily what is real. So that's how I feel.
Good. That's good. I'm with you, Lena. I was not raised where Halloween was taught to be bad. We did trick or treat. This is probably the first costume I've put on since school days,
Ah!
literally. But it wasn't because we were taught that Halloween was bad. We were allowed to trick or treat. We had at the same time other church members and or family members that were on the opposite side of the spectrum who believed it was demonic and participating, but they also didn't believe in participating in Christmas with the Christmas tree and that kind of stuff. They thought all of that was not of God and so on and so forth. And were opposed to, like, I remember one time my father during his pastor time had a Christmas tree in the church. They got upset because there's a Christmas tree in the church. So, I saw both sides of it, but I personally was not raised that way and I have no problem with it.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
And I will say I kind of relate to both of you. I feel like where the relationship between the holiday itself and Christian religion can be mended is that we just have to let go of some of the things that we used to condemn. So we some of us were taught to condemn Halloween for the pagan origin, and that's just not right. We can't look at something and say because it is not what I am, I have to write it off completely. And I think that's where we begin to heal. Once we say I can invite this into my life, and there will be no negative effects because I'm not breaking any of the laws of my religion by inviting it into my life, then we'll be fine, and we'll be able to allow the people in our lives who celebrate Halloween or All Hallowed Eve or Dia de los Muertos, we'll be able to allow them to be comfortable with us, and maybe we can learn more and learn how that we can involve or certain things in our religion also relate to those practices.
And that being said, excellent, 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 Shelley. You mentioned pagan, and I just want to give props to Phoenix Lee Orr. I hope that you all heard her explanation of what pagan means. It does not mean anything demonic. So
Yes.
she broke it down, she explained it thoroughly. Pagan does not equal demonic, and Christianity today has perverted the use of that word. And I hope you guys are
Mm-hmm.
really clear on that. That is not what pagan means.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I mean, because I didn't realize, but I associated with, evilness. Oh, you pagan holidays. Look at me, So once I started learning, I'm like, oh, okay,
I did
somebody
too.
is tricking my mind.
Before you asked me earlier, and I googled it, I thought it was something demonic as well. And when I googled it, it was just like pagan people are just people who don't follow the religion of the land that they're in. And I'm like, my whole life I
There,
was told that pagan, they're the devil, they're devil worshippers, it's evil, pagan, pagan, pagan. And then I find out, I Google that it's just simple. It has nothing to do with the devil. It has nothing to do with who they are. They just don't. They follow a different religion than what I follow, which is absolutely
yes,
okay. And that's
yes,
what I mean. That's absolutely okay. And I would have never known that had I not done my own research.
And
yeah.
understand
They
that the
go ahead.
term does not necessarily equate to a religion at all. Even though there is a faith tradition that has come out as pagan, the term had no connotation to religious at all. It didn't have anything to do with religion. It was talking about locality of a group of people. It didn't have anything at all to do with religion.
Yeah, because
Mm.
I was some of the articles and the websites I was researching on about the Mexican culture. They called the Mayans and the Aztecs pagans.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I think it's important to just learn and read up on the stuff. So pagans are indigenous. Well, yeah, they're like indigenous people to the land and who are not connected, like Angie said, not connected to the main civilization. And so they're going to have their own way of doing things, their own religions, their own, way of life. And so then when the Christianity or the Roman Empire came in, they were trying to get rid of that and just make everybody one religion. And so then it became this evil thing or whatever, but it's not. It's not. So
We
yes.
understand. Okay,
Let's
I'm going to let's get into this poll really
yes.
quickly. And then we can turn it around. Um, so the poll is super short and sweet, but I wanted to relate it obviously to the holidays because it's holiday season and this is the best time of the year. Um, Sorry, a little bit of an outburst. So the first question in today's poll is, what is the best holiday? This is a neck and neck. I've got four of them listed. You guys, I want you guys to vote and tell me what you think the best holiday is. I have. Listen, can you please stop? Thank you.
So the
Okay, please
question
stop.
is, do you all think Tall Pump
I'm sorry.
said
The best holiday. I have A,
okay.
Halloween today. Well, not today, but Halloween, which is Sunday. B, Christmas. C, Juneteenth. And D, Thanksgiving. Think about how you celebrate these holidays, the the people that are around you, the things that you do to celebrate. What is the best one in your opinion?
Well, for me, this ain't even this is a no-brainer. It's gonna be Thanksgiving for me. I love Thanksgiving. It's some good food. You can't go. I only have Thanksgiving food on Thanksgiving so that Thanksgiving is super special. So that's definitely my favorite. You just go around and you be eating real. You eat a lot. You get the itis. You go to sleep. You wake up. You eat some more. It's just a great holiday. I just love it. You know, talk with your family. You're there. Y'all having fun. People drinking. People smoking outside. It's just a good time.
See, it's not that easy for me, and I wish it was. It's for me. It's between Juneteenth and Christmas.
Uh huh.
Ugh. Because Juneteenth, I feel like you cook all the best food. You have your barbecue. We listen to that '90s R&B. We're dancing. It's so
Oh
much fun
wow.
learning about our history.
Oh, so y'all
And
really
then
celebrate Juneteenth for real, for real.
oh yeah, and then
That's
for
what's up.
Christmas, I feel like it's just so it warms my heart. Like everybody comes together. We exchange gifts. It's just mm, that's the
It's
best
just
part.
nice.
We're all together and we're drinking cocoa and we have our matching jammies. Oh,
Not
this is hard.
Coco. And they got the music. Mariah Carey. I can't wait to hear that
Yes,
song
the
50,
Christmas
11 times.
music. Oh,
Yeah,
and
it's gonna
Christmas
be.
movies. Okay. Oh man. Okay, it is difficult, but I'm gonna say Christmas. I'm gonna say Christmas because you just get fully submerged in the spirit. Like you have
Mhm.
music, you have movies, you have jammies, you have the tree, the gifts, the discounts, everything. It's Christmas for me.
Okay, I ain't mad at it.
I don't
Um,
see anything in the chat yet. What's the best?
it
Oh wait,
looks like
hold on.
Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Juneteenth is winning. It's hard. It's hard. Juneteenth is lit.
Tall Pump said, "I think holidays are man-made stuff. Thanksgiving is a continuation of Columbus Day, like celebrating an oppression of another group of people. Thanksgiving, I never liked the root cause of most holidays, but that's just me. This is true. You know, Thanksgiving does not have good roots at all. It's some more
Thanksgiving does not have
colonization
good
shit,
roots. But for
huh?
us, we
Yeah,
know that Thanksgiving is just a time to get together, cook, eat good food, and hang out with the family. We get a free day off of work.
yeah. I mean, Juneteenth. The history of Juneteenth just infuriates me. It really does. I'm just like,
It does, but it
why are y'all
also
down
I
here in
feel like
Texas just doing too much? Down here in Galveston, just ain't telling people what, like, what the? But it's beautiful that somebody came and was like, y'all free. You know, it's great. Um, and they finally got free as much as they could have at that point.
but I feel like
But
just like the N word, we reclaimed Juneteenth, and now we use it as a day to celebrate and we educate our youth, and we've made the most of it. We've totally reclaimed it.
oh, did y'all see that they opening back up Black Wall Street in Oklahoma? They doing like a new Black Wall Street. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. I'm gonna go down there. Okay, so Juneteenth one, Top Pumps, you right. I don't like the roots of Thanksgiving, but I do like just getting with the
Mm-hmm.
family, eating together, and
That's what
just
it
being
is.
there. That's what I like about
Okay,
it.
I'll get into the next one. So this one's simple and easy too. Most overused, overrated costume. I use the word overused, but I guess it's interchangeable. Most overused costume: A mummy, B a witch, C an angel, or D a ghost. What's the most overused? I think it's easy. It's a no brainer for me. It's a ghost. People are so
You
quick to
think
throw a
so?
sheet over their head and cut some eye holes out and walk around and be like, ooh, like
You
try
think they
harder.
still doing that?
They're still
That
doing
they might
it.
get beat up now. What you say,
Try.
cake, cake? You said what? Get the
You said what?
say
What
cake,
you?
cake. What? Who you say? Are you a
They're
ghost or
still
what
doing
are
it.
you?
It's definitely a ghost for me. But I guess if I
For
had to pick a second, I would definitely say witch. If I ain't seen 1,000 Cromwell sisters this year, or what are the ones from Hocus Pocus?
oh
Um,
yeah, 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 yeah.
those like, come on. And those two are neck and
Um,
neck in the poll right now. One witch, one ghost.
Mine's is gonna be not on the poll. Mine's gonna be vampire. It's always a vampire,
Oh yeah, there's always a vampire.
and I've always wanted to be a vampire. Actually,
You know what's so
um,
crazy? We were vampires last year.
really,
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I've always wanted to like go full fledged, like Brooklyn. What is it? Vampire on Brooklyn Vampire. Eddie Murphy,
Yes.
lace front wig vampire. You know, what was her
I'm
name? Her
here
name is
for
Angela
it.
Bassett. Angela
I
Bassett
got
scratching up
so
guys'
far.
backs.
I still have neck and neck, witch and ghost, and then you said vampire.
But out of this group, I'm gonna say I think the witch too because
You think the witch too? I have a couple of
hmm
not. They didn't vote in the poll, but a couple of people said ghost in the chat. Tall Pump
listen,
said, I realized years ago adults use Halloween to slut up any costume. If you ever been to a bar, every nurse, witch, or whatever is hoochified. Absolutely. And I'm here for it. I'm here for
like
the hoochification of costumes.
what is the problem with it? Let it be. Let that booty hang out. Let them titties sit up.
Girl, you
Like
better be
I
a little Mary
love it.
maid.
You hear me? Come on,
You
give
better
them a show.
you better be a Mary maid with the low cut top and the feather duster.
All of that, or give it to us. Okay, spend
Yes.
$50 on your costume on Amazon
They
Prime
do,
in
and
two
I feel like
days.
it really kicked into gear. Tall Pumps. I feel like it really kicked into gear when Mean Girls came out.
Not Mean
When
Girls.
Mean Girls came out and they had their whole when they were like, Halloween is a time where a teenage girl can blah 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 blah. That made it worse.
See, let your freak flag fly. Looks like witches won.
Witches won. All right, let's go to
Mhm.
the next one. This one's kind of fun. There's some pictures we have to show you guys to go along with this one. What has been the best celebrity costume so far? I couldn't pick all of them. There's been so many great ones,
Who is
but
this?
I picked a few. This is the Weekend, and he is dressed as the Nutty Professor. So that's
That's
A.
good. That's
The
good.
Weekend as the Nutty Professor.
Okay.
The next one, B, is gonna be Saweetie, and I totally love her. She did all three of Destiny's Child on the cover of Bootylicious.
Come
So
on,
that's
sweetie.
that's not Beyonce, that's Sweetie. That's not Kelly, that's Sweetie. That's not
That's my
Michelle, that's
Michelle.
Sweetie. And I think it's so cute. I think it's super cute that she did this. So that's B. And then C, I couldn't even tell who the celebrity was in this one. I had to look at the
Edward
caption.
Scissorhands. Who
That's
is it?
Edward Scissorhands, and that's LeBron, y'all. That is LeBron James,
That's so
King
good.
James. He
That's
did a
so
really good
good.
job as Edward
He really
Scissorhands.
did.
And then this last one, I just love. It is the hot girl herself, Megan the Stallion,
Who
and
is
she
she?
is Pinhead from Hellraiser.
I ain't seen it.
Yeah, you know what? Neither have I. And at first, I thought she was one of the ghosts from 13 Ghosts.
Come on, Megan.
But I feel like she looks so good. She hoochified that costume, like Tall Pumps was saying.
Yes.
And I think it was really cute. I think she still did a really good job, even with the hoochification.
I'm going with the Nutty Professor. That was good. I love
Listen,
it.
that's my favorite one, but I mean, not my favorite one. That's probably the best like makeup, but I'm gonna give it to LeBron because I didn't even know that was him.
Really? I didn't know it was him
I
either
didn't
though.
even know that was him. I'm like, okay, this is obviously Edward Scissorhands, but who is this? And it turned
Mm-mm-mm.
out to be King James himself,
Come on.
LeBron. But Saweetie gets honorable mention because that was so cute. I'm like, oh, okay, so clearly Beyonce is Sweetie, but I'm looking at the other two girls and I'm like, who are they? And then I was like, no, they're all three Sweetie. Like she went all out for
Listen.
this.
Crazy Bird says a hoochified Hellraiser to Tall Pump's point. You right. But it's Megan.
Definitely, definitely hoochified. It's neat
It's the
like Megan.
stallion. She had to put it out there. Hers is hoochified too, but that's just Destiny's Child.
Yeah, that's just Destiny's Child.
Who we got?
And
Who?
she got this whole turtleneck on as Michelle. That's hilarious.
Oh, LeBron is winning. That is dope though. I'm not even gonna lie. Like
That's what I said. He did a
I
really good
love
job.
it. With the
He did a
Edward
really good job.
Scissors hands. I used to watch that movie all the time.
Edward Scissorhands?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah, it's
how's
a
he
really good
living?
movie.
How's he wiping his butt? Nobody's asking the real questions.
They gotta be gloves. That's what I said. They gotta be gloves. Oh, you mean the real Edward Scissorhands?
Yeah, in real life. I mean, in real life, the movie. I don't know how he
in
was
real
doing
life. No,
stuff.
but I don't know. They never did. I mean, obviously they're not gonna address it, but
They
that's
should
a
have
good
addressed.
question.
How you wiping your butt? I just need to know.
LeBron is winning so far.
He won.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yep, he took it. LeBron took it. Yeah,
I ain't
I
mad
think
at
he
it.
did a good job. He put in.
Yes,
I mean,
he
I'm sure
did.
he had a whole team of like makeup artists and costumes and whatever, but
Yeah,
they all
yeah.
went in because he looked really good.
Yeah, he did. Okay.
Really good.
So.
But we can. You want to do a couple turn around? Maybe you do one. I do one. We get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. We about to
Let's
do the
do
last
it.
segment. Y'all know this is our favorite segment, and it's called "Turn That Thing Around." Wanda's listen.
Turn the thing.
That's okay. Wanda,
around.
turn it around for you.
Oh,
Wanda,
thank
turn it
you,
around for you.
thank you.
Turn that thing around.
Oh, you know what?
Turn it around. Turn it around.
There we go.
Love
There we
to
go.
hear
There we go.
discussion.
Come on, Shelly.
Turn.
We should go to karaoke. We're gonna do an episode where we do karaoke. People call in and we're gonna do karaoke. Okay. This is turn that thing around. So basically, what we're about to do, hit y'all with some perspective. It's how you make it through tough situations in life. If you can see the positive perspective, if you can see the positive, if you can see the positive in a negative situation, you can make it through. Okay, that's the name of the game.
You sure
It's the name
can.
of the game. So do you want me to go first? I'll do one. I got it.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Let me see. All right. I'm gonna do my first one.
I'm nervous.
It's Halloween, and your people know you don't do scary stuff at all. But your boyfriend, he's an asshole, and he doesn't understand that you really, really don't do scary stuff. So it's Halloween, and you go to sleep in your boyfriend's arms, just cuddled up, just feeling safe and secure, like he providing. And then you wake up in the middle of the night, you look over, he's gone. Don't read it, Shelly. Listen, don't read it. Listen. You scream out, baby! Baby! No answer. You hear a loud boom downstairs. You can't find your phone anywhere. So you grab the bat, you keep behind your bed frame. You walk towards the door, you go to open it, and as you reach your hand out, the door swing open, and it looks like a man that's possessed is coming towards you, making crazy noises. You scream. You start swinging the bat every which way. You end up clocking your boyfriend right in the head because he was trying to scare you. He's unconscious on the floor, and you realize it was him. So you start yelling at him and telling him, stop playing. But you realize he's not moving.
So I'm a whole murderer. I'm a whole murderer.
He's unconscious. He's unconscious.
Have y'all seen A Fall from Grace?
No, I need to watch it.
Okay, well, I'm dragging this man to the woods because he shouldn't have been playing like that, and I'm getting out of Dodge.
It's your boyfriend.
No, sir.
Y'all live together.
I'm going on the run as long as I can because why would you play like that?
Well, is it self-defense?
Ooh, technically, but I can't prove that. And the people are more likely to be on his side. They're going to be like, oh, he was just joking. How could you kill him? Because the fool was playing with me. And so he got played with.
So you're turning it around by dragging the boyfriend to the woods. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I'm dragging him to the woods. He can spend the rest of his hours or minutes there. I'm going on the run. Probably go to Mexico, lay low, learn some Espanol. meet me a little sangria Sancho
Come
that
on.
I can spend the rest of my days with.
Oh, you moving on that quick?
No, I gotta go. Yes, because why would you play with me like that? Now you done made me kill you. I can't explain this to the cops. Now I gotta live in Mexico for the rest of my life.
Listen, Shelly Thunder said, I saw it. That's what his ass get, and he listen and believe you next time if he's not dead. Right. So what if you drag him to the woods and you hop to
Well, you said he
Mexico?
wasn't moving, so I assumed he was dead.
Was that a gun cock? Wait,
No.
wait. First of all, wait. Let's talk about last episode, okay? Did you realize the AG had put on some? I went back and watched the AG had put on some on her a stethoscope on when she was getting upset. I was like, I didn't even see that. It was so funny. It was
I
so
did not
funny.
realize. That's
She done put the
hilarious.
stethoscope on. I love the gun. Okay, so what if you drag him to the woods and he's
And
alive?
I'm off to Mexico to live my best life.
Ain't nothing but the devil.
I can't hear you.
Nothing
They'll
but
be
the
looking for me in
devil.
America. I won't be back.
I won't be back. I won't be back. I won't be back no more. Adios, amigos. All right, Shelly, we'll get it. I'm feeling it. That's what's
I'm
up.
good.
Turned that thing around, didn't
And
you?
if I do see on the news one day that he did live, I might come back and confess because at least I won't have to do a murder charge.
Just a battery and assault, and you're gonna be on
Yeah.
probation. You're gonna do about 2 years. You're gonna be on probation for
Man,
about
but I
3 or
guess at
4.
that point I wouldn't be able to claim self-defense because they're going to be like, well, why'd you run? Why'd you go to Mexico for 15 years? My bad, it was a misunderstanding.
Then came back with a whole baby.
Oops.
I don't forgot English. No
It was a
understand. No
misunderstanding.
understand.
I got a whole accent now. Yeah, it was a
I
misunderstanding.
don't know what you said. What is your name? I don't know.
I have
I don't know. I don't know your name anymore.
I have a funny one and I have a scary one.
I want the funny one.
You want the funny one? Okay, let's go.
Because I'm scary. Y'all don't know this, but I'm scary. I don't watch scary movies. I close my eyes. If a commercial come on, I can't turn. I close my eyes. I start singing gospel song. Jesus, 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 got him on my mind. Oh, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I do not play.
You're a mess.
I don't play.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so you're chilling with your bae, watching spooky movies, and the scenes are leaving you literally trembling.
This
You're
is me. Yes.
terrified. The hairs on your arms are raised. You're about to throw up. Like, it's disgusting. You can't take it.
Uh-huh.
So you snuggle closer to them.
This is
trying
me.
to hide your face in their arm so you can duck when the scenes are scary and you don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your babe mistakes your body language for fear as body language for sex. And they begin initiating, rubbing between your legs, caressing your breasts. They want to get it in. But
the girls
you're
is in it
literally gagging from how terrified you are. How could you even think about sex when you're scared shitless? Turn it around. What do?
Turn it around.
Turn it around.
I'm gonna pause the movie. I'm gonna turn the movie off. I'm gonna get going. We're gonna have some good times. I'd much rather be messing with my guy or whatever.
So you can switch gears like this. Like, I'm scared. I'm not. Let's get it in.
Exactly, Shelly Thunder. Let's go. Take my mind off the scary. Okay, and I'm gonna have to put it on him because guess what? He gonna have to spend a night for the next week. You understand what I'm saying? Because now my mind is jacked up from the scary, and it's gonna keep replaying, and my closet door is squeaky. So if that mug at any point when I'm here by myself, it's a wrap. Like I need to move out, terminate my lease. I can't live in this demonic house no more.
I cannot believe that y'all could think about sex at a time like this. When I'm scared, my whole ecosystem is abrupt.
Well, I might need a look. I could imagine if he's rubbing on me and touching on me, I'm gonna begin to calm down, and I could just imagine myself, not thinking about the movie and thinking about him, and maybe gagging on something else. You know what I mean?
No. Oh no, there's no way. I like that you can so easily switch gears and just be like, all right, yeah, get my mind off of this.
Yeah, Shelly Thunder, he gonna have to move in because at that point I'm gonna need help. Okay, because if I wake
Yeah.
up and something I hear a noise and you getting woke up and you need to deal with that because I blessed you
Hmm.
earlier. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what you're
I
here
get
for.
that.
Hmm.
I'm here for it.
Yeah,
I'm here for it. Well, that's what I have. I love that you turned that around, and I could not
I liked
possibly
your
ever do
turnaround
that.
too. What would you do,
No,
Shelly?
well,
Go ahead and do your own.
my turn it around would be to be like, we need to have a conversation because why are we watching Annabelle rip apart an entire family and you getting hard? No, don't touch me.
Oh, I
I'm
didn't think
I'm
about
I'm
that.
about to throw up, sir. I don't want no.
No,
You put
because you did it. He thought you was coming on to him. That's why he's hard. He was confused.
you need to get some clarity on what body language is because
Okay.
there's no way that I'm thinking about sex at a time like this.
Yeah, you over there jumping. I jump hard too. Oh shit.
Me too. And you
I
thinking I'm
jump
talking
hard.
about some oh, you mistaken my oh for oh. And no, those are two different O's.
Right. Shelly Thunder said he initiating it his way of calming your fear. So he's being protective and taking care of you. So he's really literally like, oh, baby's over here scared. Let me take her mind off of it.
Leave me alone.
Mm. I bet
Leave me
if he
alone.
kissed the right spot, it's gonna be a different story. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I cannot.
Listen, you gotta turn that stuff around.
But y'all know me from the last show, from the last sex show. I can't switch gears like that. The praying and sexing at the same time was a mind blower for me. So this is for real a mind blower. Like how I am literally about to pee my pants, sir. I
Did we
cannot
merge the
think.
two?
We at that point, I don't know if we can do it at this point. Jeez, jeez,
Listen,
Louise.
we turned it around. Well, listen to my turnaround. Get on up in there. You hear me? That's how you turn
I
it
can't
around.
listen. Yeah,
Perspective.
at this time, yes, absolutely. Listen, Lena.
Listen. Go ahead
Absolutely,
and
listen,
take your
Lena.
mind off of what's going on. Now, I'm Wanda. So what we about to do is go ahead and end this show because I need to get back to my extracurriculatory activities over here and matter of fact, let me just take one more. Go ahead, Shelly, close us out. And I'm gonna take one more while we sitting here.
Thank you guys for joining us today. This has been a great conversation about holidays and specifically Halloween. I loved the serious portion. I loved.
Oh,
How am I supposed to wrap it up with this? I love learning
oh.
about everyone's religion and how it relates to Halloween as a holiday. Like we said, don't condemn people because they are different than you. Don't believe that paganism is somehow some evil religious belief. It has nothing to even do with religion. It
Mm-hmm.
literally, that's the major thing I want everyone to take away from today. When your grandma and grandpa were saying pagan as evil, they had no idea what they were talking about because
Mm-hmm.
pagan simply means people of that location.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that being said, join us next week. We will deconstruct something else. We will try to figure out a way to merge more popular beliefs with traditional beliefs. You can follow us. You can follow Lena Phoenix Leor at Leor Music on Instagram. You can join our Facebook page, reBOOT This. That's REBOOT This. Don't forget to enter your submissions for the costume contest. There will be a prize next week. And I can't. Oh, follow me on Instagram at Miss Shelly Welly, MissShellywelly. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
Reboot, growth, reboot, longevity, reboot, understanding, reboot, and integrity. Reboot, me and you, reboot, we on the road, reboot, progress, reboot, self-discovery. Got a lot to learn in this life, reboot, and I'm excited. Gonna do it with my people, like mine. Yeah. What you gonna do when you need reboot? What you gonna do? Reboot, a reboot, a reboot.
mon esprit.